What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stonadge channel. And today we're going to be going through my dream summer. Now, this is the first time that I'm not getting all recorded in the green screen. I want to make this better quality for you guys. More videos like this with somewhat snazzy editing and somewhat just better quality anyway, rather than me just sat in my studio doing nothing. A first good video to do like this would be my dream summer for Liverpool. So obviously I'm keeping it somewhat realistic. As you've seen in the thumbnail, you've got McAllister, you've got Caicedo. They may not be on this list. Before that, we need to make sure you hit that subscribe button. 64% of you that watch these videos aren't subscribed. Hit that subscribe button right now. And yeah, there'll be much more content like this. A lot around Liverpool as well. Of course, you know, it has to be.
So I'm not going to say Liverpool need to sign, you know, Pedri, Haaland and Mbappe.
And I have got 5 incomings that I want at Liverpool. So I've gone with 3 midfielders, a centre-back, and also a right-back and centre-back hybrid. So those are my 5 players. So I'm going to start with the most obvious one, 3 midfielders. So I'm starting with number 1, and that is Alexis Mac Allister. Now, obviously, there's been so much rumour. Fabrizio Romano's even come out and said, look, we've agreed terms with Mac Allister, 65 million pounds. I think everything speaks for itself with Alexis Mac Allister this season. Not only has he guided Brighton and Hove Albion to 6th place in the Premier League, being a vital cog in that incredible Roberto De Zerbi team, he's also won the World Cup and been a pivotal part of an Argentina midfield. I mean, you can't get much better than that, and he's still so young. Something that always makes me excited is a lovely football reference profile, and that is exactly what we have here. Alexis McAllister is in the 96th percentile for non-penalty goals, the 99th percentile for shots taken from midfielders. So that's every player in the position in the last 365 days. Also the 80th percentile in progressive carries as well. So he's an attacking midfielder, he's always looking forward, and he's someone who can really make a difference to this team, especially for me in that right central midfielder role. We've seen Curtis Jones do things really well on the left. I think McAllister will make a perfect combination. And also you add in Trent Alexander-Arnold's brilliant guile in midfield as well. Honestly, this is going to be exciting next season. I think this man could genuinely transform Liverpool's midfield. He is a number 1 bona fide starter for me. He is the number 1 midfielder at the football club next season. He is in there. Thiago potentially could have a conversation, but with his injury, who knows? But I think having McAllister in there will make a world of difference to Liverpool Football Club. And immediately, that signing puts us back in the title race for me. We're on to our next midfielder then, and I'm going to go with someone who's been linked with us a lot. There's been 2 French midfielders who's been heavily linked with Liverpool recently. I am going to go with Khéphren Thuram. Now, Thuram is obviously a player where I made a video on back in January, so I already know quite a bit about him and his performances at Nice this season. And I think if you want to know more about him in depth, go and watch that video. But he's a young talent. He's valued sort of around 60 million euros, which is a big leap on the sort of 20 to 30 he was valued in January. But that is because he has truly exceeded expectations. The son, of course, of Julian Timber and the brother of Marcus. He's somebody who comes with elite footballing genes and also some great versatility, which will help Liverpool out in the long term. When he started off in his career, he was more of a number 6, and now he's progressed further forward and further forward indeed. And for me, I think if we could get him for around £40 million, I think he could play both DM roles to replace Fabinho, and also an advanced number 8, the way Curtis Jones runs around, the way Hakpo's also dropped back, and Henderson too. I think he would be just someone who could really influence that at the top level. I think he's that good. And also, he's got a beautifully green FB ref profile as well. 94th percentile for progressive carries. This is what I love to see. A player driving forward from midfield. That is what a number 8 should be doing. 89th percentile for expected assists. 92nd percentile for successful take-ons as well. Now, who does this remind you of a little bit? With these progressive carries, Gini Wijnaldum. For me, prime Gini Wijnaldum. And I think Khéphren Thuram and Alexis McAllister both give me that vibe. And I think those two are going to be so important for us next season and are young enough to improve as well. Thuram is only 22 years old. You can get a decade out of him. And that's why I think he's going to be vitally important for us if we do get him in. So my third midfielder is a little bit of a wild card, and that is James Ward-Prowse. Now, nobody's really linked us with James Ward-Prowse this window. And I just feel like with the outgoings this summer of Milner and Oxlade-Chamberlain, Liverpool are going to need to look for a homegrown midfielder. Now, with those two already been bought in, Mason Mount potentially going to Manchester United, which seems to be all agreed now, I think that a player like James Ward-Prowse would be a real great addition, especially with the exodus of James Milner. So Ward-Prowse is a player that leads by example on the training field. He's a player who has carried Southampton probably for the last 3 or 4 years. And his expertise, especially from set pieces, I feel would be a really great addition to our club. We are lacking someone really from free kicks. I know Trent Alexander-Arnold has scored a couple, but from a consistent basis, you're talking about probably the best free kick taker there's ever been in the Premier League in James Ward-Prowse. Now, I don't think this one's particularly likely. I really like Ward-Prowse, but I don't think the fan base would be as enamoured with him as I would be. He wouldn't accept being a squad player. I don't think he'd be able to really, at his age, be able to understand, like, yeah, he would be in 1 week and not the next. And I think maybe somewhere like Newcastle United, who've been linked to Spurs, also would be able to provide that more. Also, I think Southampton are in a position where they probably can demand quite a bit of money for him. He is a valuable asset. But anyway, in an ideal situation, in an ideal summer that is still semi-realistic, I'm going to pick James Ward-Prowse as my third Liverpool midfielder. We're going to go on to my centre-back/right-back hybrid, and it's got to be Julian Timber, who could also play in the defensive midfield role. For me, this is my number one target for the summer. I think Julian Timber would be the perfect signing for Liverpool's system next season. If we're playing that 3-2-5 that we have been, Timber at that right centre-back role, I think would provide a good cover for Konate, could actually overtake Konate, which would then shift him potentially into the middle and give Liverpool good options. I like Joe Gomez, but I think he's got more bad games in him than good at the moment. We need a player to be able to cover for Ibrahim Konate at that right centre-back role, who is adept with both feet, who is quick, and who is good in the air. Now, Timber is still only 5'10", but I think he has still got that ability. He's played at right back, he's played right centre-back, he's played in defensive midfield. In the last 365 days, he is in the 99th percentile for the following: non-penalty XG, passes attempted, passes completed, progressive passes, progressive carries. Now, this is ranked against centre-back, so of course it is going to be weighted. He's also in the 97th percentile for shot creating actions and non-penalty XG plus assisted gain as well. So a 96th for progressive passes received, 95th for touches in the attacking penalty area. He is unbelievable. I know he's only played in the Eredivisie, but we've already seen with Cody Gakpo how good players from the Eredivisie can truly be. And I think Timber falls under that category of somebody who needs a move. He's been linked with Manchester United for a long while too, but I think he's got to be coming to Liverpool to play with the Dutch boys in Virgil and Cody, and come play with us, lads. So, my final centre-back. Now, I think I'm probably going to be over the limits of our budget, and this is a dream centre-back for me, because I'm going to be offering Joe Gomez in this deal and offering 40 million plus Gomez for Mark Guehi of Crystal Palace. Not many people have really gone and said how good Mark Guehi has been for Crystal Palace. He has been a stalwart, commanding, everything perfect in a team that realistically hasn't got the greatest of abilities. He's guided them to 11th place. He's been their best player by far this season. Eberechi Eze may have a question to say about that, but I think he's been amazing. He's earned himself an England cap. He is so good. He's so good, ladies and gentlemen. I think somebody who Liverpool should be after. Of course, he would cost a lot of money, and that's why I've said the 40 million plus Gomez, who I think would go and do a good job at Crystal Palace, by the way. I think Gomez is still a top centre-back. But I think Guehi, the guile he shows on the ball is so much better than Gomez. And I'm using Gomez as a comparative. Obviously, Matip potentially leaving soon as well. He's an elder statesman. Van Dijk isn't young. Konate, of course, is someone who we think will play for us for the next, 7, 8, 9 years. But I think Guehi would be a perfect partner for him. He's still so young, only 23 years old. Somebody who is homegrown again, another real key aspect of this deal. And yeah, I think about 50 to 60 million pounds, I think, would do it. It's going to be an expensive window for Liverpool, but that's what you get for neglection over several years. You need to pump that money in now, and then it will save you money in the future. I think with Mark Guehi, you're getting yourself a £100 million centre-back for half of that price, because he will be that in the future. Injury preventing at a top club, Mark Guehi is exceptional, and he's somebody who I would bring into Liverpool this summer. So anyway, that is my dream window. 5 signings. I went for Mac Allister, I went for Thuram, I went for WardProwse, Timber, and Guehi. Is that realistic? Am I being crazy? I don't know. But let me know in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.